Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids, and this is a relaunch of my 5 Bushcraft bag series. So here's the backstory. A couple months ago, I launched a video and I talked about 5 different Bushcraft bags that I'm gonna review, and then 5 different tests I'm gonna put them through to see how does the gear work and what's my experience with them. And then life just got busy, we moved, there's a bunch of different things going on, but I'm relaunching this series. And so what you're seeing in this video is the first Bushcraft bag. I'm relaunching that video so you can see what's in the bag. And actually tomorrow in the morning, I'm headed out to test out this bag. So check out the video, leave some comments, let me know what you think about this Bushcraft bag, and then stay tuned for this 10-part series on 5 Bushcraft bags reviewed and then 5 Bushcraft bags tested. All right, guys, thanks. Check it out. This is Bushcraft bag number 1. So I have seen a ton of Bushcraft outdoor survival gear over the years, and I thought, you know what, let's build a couple kits into different bags, let's take them out to the woods and see which gear we like. And so you're going to be on the journey with me over these next 10 videos where you're going to see gear I like, gear I don't like. You're going to see things that I think are cool and then I find out I don't really know how to use them. Other things that are like, man, this is prime and I think everybody should have one of these in their kit. So let's go on the adventure together. And again, today we're looking at video number 1. Let's talk about the haversack real quick. So a haversack, shoulder bag essentially versus a backpack, way more gear able to be carried in a backpack as opposed to this. But this is just for getting out into the woods to have a little adventure for the day. You can still carry enough if you go minimalist to do an overnight and maybe even multiple overnights, but definitely more challenging with this. Cryptek is the design here, and I got this and some other bags I'll show you in a minute. This is made by a company called Woodsmen. And the gentleman who runs it does excellent work. And so sometimes he'll do limited run based on the patterns he gets and the materials he gets, but definitely highly recommend him. And I'll put his a link to his website down in the description section on this video. But you can see it folds over the top here. You got 2 clips to get into the main section of the bag. We've got a zippered section here in the front, hook and loop panel to put patches, as you can see. These 2 link together like that to keep your gear inside. I'll zoom in to show you the inside in a minute, but you've got kind of a back pocket section here, and then you can see you have an additional pocket here. I don't actually keep much in this front section, if anything at all, but this main section is where I keep most of my gear. We do have Molly on the side, so you can attach gear over there. Here's your shoulder strap, no extra padding on that, but you could get some sort of padding and add it to it if you wanted to. Then you have a grab handle here, and then you basically have a pass through here so you can run an axe or a hatchet through there and it can hang down below the bag. There's the other side. Quick look at the bottom. That's just where they attach the 2 clips, and you can see solid stitching there. It's not just one line of stitching, it's stitched in nicely. And there's a look down inside. As obviously you can see, you got that nice high vis orange in there. You got this back section, the main section, and then like I said, you've got a front section here. All right, we've talked through the bag. Let's open it up and show you the gear now. So first item you see is the Tops Nata, and this has got one of those pull the dot systems, so it won't pull this way, you gotta pull up. And this is my chopping tool for being out in the woods. So leather sheath, obviously you can take this out and then throw it on your belt when you're out in the woods. You can leave camp behind. This is designed after the Nata is a Japanese gardening and outdoor tool. So you got a cutting edge, you can dig with this back end, just got an edge, just got a bit of a bevel. Really nice handle, kind of contoured, sort of similar to a kukri with that angle. Thinner here and then widens out. This design for the handle is the same as on the bull trout that Tops makes. So if you want to get like a small knife and a chopper, this is a nice setup. So I can use this to chop, I can use this to scrape, I can use it to baton wood and split wood up. So this is kind of my more heavy duty tool, and as opposed to bringing a big hefty knife, I can just keep this on the top of the bag, and then when I get into the outdoors, put it on my hip. So that's the first item. As you can see, I've got my strap just kind of folded up. That's how I keep it stored when I'm not using the bag. Open this up, right on top we've got our set of mechanics gloves, and these are well worn. So just use these to protect my hands when I'm in the outdoors, or obviously give warmth if the weather is colder. Now a lot of people for a bushcraft saw go with a Silky or a Baco Laplander. Great items, they make great products, both those companies. This is from a company called Gruntech, and I saw this online. It jumped out to me, I said I'm gonna test it out. So you might be able to see it's a little worn here, so I have used it. I do like it a lot. Solid locking mechanism, kind of a cork handle, and it's got this flat spot here so you can put your thumb while you're cutting. The handle is definitely chunky, so it's a bigger handle, which I like. You know, I just, in general, like I don't want to have a really thin handle, it just feels uncomfortable to me. So I've used it a bit. I'm going to use it more when we test this thing out in the kind of part B of this bushcraft bag video. But yeah, that's my my folding saw, Gruntech. Yeah, cool product. Now, as you go down in, I've got it organized in a couple different ways. So first off, there's kind of a back slot here, back pocket. So I've got my pocket New Testament. I think this has got Psalms and Proverbs in it as well. So a chance to read some scripture when I'm out there in the woods. Now here in the back, I keep a meal. And so the reason I do this is so if I head out into the woods, I've always got something to eat other than just snacks. Louisiana red beans and rice. You know, basically you're gonna hydrate it with boiling water and you're good to go. So I have a meal for when I'm out in the woods. Now also in the back here, I have Night Eyes information on the cam jams, and those are over here on the side of the pack. They're on one of the little kind of molly webbing here on the outside. And I haven't used these yet, but I thought I'll throw them on the pack and test them out when I get out to the woods. But I kept this in there because it's lightweight and small and allows me to know what the heck I'm doing with these when we head out into the woods. Now also in the back here, I've got my stove. And so what I have here is an emberlit stove, which I'll roll in footage of what it looks like actually set up. And then I also have a piece of aluminum foil, and that's just because, you know, it allows me to cook and use it for different, basically, yeah, cooking purposes. So just a little piece of aluminum foil all folded up that I can keep in the stove container here. The container is definitely messy inside, but it's gonna get sooty either way. So that's also nice and thin, so I can slide it in the back of the pack. Last thing in this back section is something to write notes on. So if I want to jot any ideas down, either just, you know, philosophical musings, or hey, you got to check this gear out or fix this piece of gear, there's a way to do it, and it is an all-weather notebook. Now the other kind of main sections, I've got kind of 1, 2, 3 different chunks here. Over on this far side, I've got my water bottle and nesting cup. So this is a Pathfinder nesting cup, and then a Pathfinder water bottle. This one I haven't used yet because I swapped out another one I had, which I've had in the fire quite a bit, and put this one in, and I moved that one to a different pack. All right, so the way I have my other gear basically stored up is in 2 of these little storage pouches, also from the Hidden Woodsman. So when I was at Blade Show a bunch of years ago, I bought this pack and these 2 pouches because it's all the same style of Cryptek. So bright orange pull, you could replace this with one of the Exotac pulls that you can also actually use as a fire starter as well. But let me move these 2 things out. So these are the 2 bags, and that's pretty much all I have in the center part of the bag. Now down in the front here in this pocket, I've got a couple things. This is the Wazoo Survival Gear tracking handkerchief or bandana. And, you know, obviously for tracking purposes, and then also just having a bandana out there in the woods is great. Lots of different information in this. Wazoo makes great products. I'm a huge fan of what they do. So another tool for being in the outdoors, and this one made by another one of my favorite companies, Wazoo Survival Gear. Now the other thing I have down in the front section here is one of these survival blankets. I had one that was already used. Once it's opened up, sometimes it's hard to get back into the bag, or into this bag and then in here. So this is a brand new one, but I have used these before. They're a great product. SOL I like. I was mentioning in another video, you can find SOL products at like Walmart, and then at, you know, higher end outdoor stores as well. So this is a form obviously of shelter for when I'm out there in the woods. Yes, it's a survival blanket, but also it can basically serve as a tarp to keep the rain, the wind, the rain, the snow, and the sun off of me as well. All right, let's go into this first pouch, show you what's in here. So I have, first off, a lid for my cup, and then I also have, as I mentioned before, you can get a bail. So I've got those 2 items for cooking. Next up, I've got my cordage in here. This is the spool tool, and great product. Organizes your gear. You get a lighter with it, so you can burn the ends after you use some of the, or cut some of the paracord. There's a blade here, so you basically run it through there and slide it off, and then burn the end, and then it's organized again. This is a great way to keep your gear, particularly your paracord or other cordage, organized, so it's not making a big mess and you're trying to get it out when you need it at nighttime or something, and cordage all over the place. Nope, this keeps it organized. The other product I have here is this, which I'll pop off real quick. So this is from Outdoor Element. It's called the Fire Beaner, and it's got a little sparking wheel here, so you can hit some sort of fire starting material to get going. It is a carabiner. There's a little blade there. There's a little flathead screwdriver there. It's a bit wide, but you can use it. And it holds up to 100 pounds. So simple little tool, and you can attach that to this, and then you can, you know, attach it to a piece of gear, and then you won't lose your paracord. Next up in here, we've got this. Now, this is gonna be maybe a little bit controversial, but this is a Coleman multi-tool. And the reason I put this in the bag is because I wanna test it out. I'm a huge fan of Leatherman. SOG makes some decent, some good multi-tools, and I think Gerber makes a couple decent multi-tools as well. But I wanted to test this out because Coleman doesn't have a great reputation in kind of the outdoor, more serious outdoor community. But I wanted to give this one a shot. It's definitely kind of chunky, but I've got pliers, it's got some blades on it, it's got a carabiner there, has a little bit of the look of the Skeletal, but it's much chunkier. But anyhow, I wanted to give this one a shot. All right, also in this bag, tiny survival guide from my buddy David and over at Ultimate Survival Tips, and Craig Caudle from the Outdoor Nature Reliance School, sorry. And you know, just a ton of information in that kit. And then below it, let me see if I can show this to you. Below it, we have basically identification cards for wild edibles. And then there's information on the back about them. So I keep this together. You know, if I'm out there hanging out in the woods, maybe I'm boiling water to have for my meal and I just want to sit and read while I'm doing that, now I've got stuff to read. A couple more items in this bag, and I've got basically a bag within a bag here. So in here, I've got stuff for going to the bathroom in the woods. I've got some bug spray, which is huge, especially right now. The bugs are definitely kicking up. On the back here, you can see I've got this, it looks like actually a garbage bag, but it's a SWAT T tourniquet. And then I've got a bunch of Band-Aids and some medications in here. So this is where I keep basically my med kit. I had a bigger med kit, but it was just taking up so much space. So I put it in here instead. And I've got some duct tape as well. All right, let's open up this bag. In here, you can see first item is from Black Bear Custom Kydex. This is a Kydex setup for my hook knife so I can carve while I'm out in the woods, right? So I've got this to, you know, do some general carving while I'm out there. And yeah, this allows me to store it without getting hacked up or cut up by the, you know, by the tool. One thing about hook knives is they're a little bit weird to try to put a sheath on it. Some people wrap them in leather or whatever, but Micah made this so I can carve with it. You can take the knife out of the Kydex here, but then allows me to store it easily. Now also down in here is my fire kit. So let me open this up and show it to you. This fire kit patch is from my friends over at Pro Camp Tech. We got some of the zipper pulls that are also fire tinder from Exotac. Open this up and you can see what's inside. So I've got some fat wood. I've got, this is a whistle and also has a fire steel on it from Southern Survival. A big Schrade fire steel. Got a couple BattlBox guitar picks that you can use. I've got like a little wheel for sparking. I've got matches in here. This is from Exotac. I've got something to strike a fire steel with and also sharpen knives. I've got some of the, let's see if I can take this out here without making a mess. I think this is called a Fast Fire from Pro Camp Tech, and then I have a lighter over there as well. So a bunch of gear to start a fire and also work on fire skills out in the woods. A few more products in here. I've got a compass. So obviously that's for navigation. I've got one of the K-Bar kind of spork tools. So you've got a spoon and a fork, and then open it up, you've got a knife inside there. And last up, I've got this headlamp from Yuko. And this one is, Yuko works with Mora when they're at SHOT Show together. They've got a connection between the two companies. And yeah, just wanted a simple headlamp that would work. So compact, lightweight, you know, Princeton Tech makes great products, but this is the one that I put in this kit. I had to pause from completing the video and go back home to grab my knife system because I realized I didn't bring my knife system that goes with this bag. So here it is. It's the Garberg and then the Eldris. So the sheath system is made by Micah from Black Bear Custom Kydex. You can see really cool design with this kind of like dark red maroon, and then this cool design here on the black grayish color. On the back, I got a compass. You can see I've got a fire steel on the side there. Got the leather. Look at that awesome stamp there. Black Bear Custom Kydex. So Garberg, great outdoor knife, great survival knife. Obviously you can see I'm a fan of it. I've used it quite a bit. And then the Eldris I think is a great little carving knife. So between the hook knife and this and the Garberg, I can do all the work I need to do. And we'll put that to the test when I actually get out into the woods. But that's my knife system for this Bushcraft bag. Guys, I can already tell you, having made this video up to this point, there's already things I want to add or shift in this bag. But as my buddy from the Nature Reliance School, his name is Craig Caudle, awesome dude, awesome outdoorsman. His one of his lines is, "Come on, let's learn together." And so as I'm doing this, I'm learning different things. I'm not gonna share my insights or my feelings or thoughts just yet. I wanna hear your thoughts in the comment section. So what do you like? What would you change? What would you add? Questions that you have. And then again, part B of this video is that we're gonna go out to the woods and have an outing with this haversack and see what we like, see what we change, learn what we can learn, and we'll do that adventure together. So let me hear your thoughts and your feedback on this video. Again, changes, likes, dislike, other general thoughts. This is Bushcraft bag 1, and this is video A. We'll do 1B, and that'll be testing, and then we got 4 other bags to talk about and to take out and review as well. So stay tuned to this series, and you know, when it's all done, just you can work your way through the playlist that I put on YouTube to, you know, take it all in one shot. And then as always, you know, let's have those discussions about what we think and what we're learning in the comment section. All right, guys, thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.